What does it mean to truly grow up? Does adulthood depend on age, or does it require something deeper, something profound, that transcends the passage of years? This story, as told by the ancient sage Saadi, offers an answer that might just transform the way we see maturity. Once, when Saadi was just a boy, he was curious about what it meant to become an adult. He sought out a learned scholar in his village, a man whose wisdom was said to be as deep as the ocean, and asked, "What is the true sign of a person reaching adulthood?" The scholar looked at the boy with kind eyes, and after a moment's pause, he replied that a person became an adult at 15 years of age. But he didn't stop there. The scholar continued, adding other signs: the natural inclination toward marriage, the capacity to make decisions, the longing to stand independently. These, he explained, were all markers of the journey from childhood to adulthood. Then his voice softened, and he spoke of something more. Beyond these physical signs, there is a deeper mark of adulthood that is less obvious, yet infinitely more important. Saadi listened intently, his curiosity piqued by the gravity of the scholar's words. The true sign of maturity is when a person begins to seek the pleasure of the divine over the allure of worldly wealth and possessions, to understand what is right and to seek goodness, even when it requires sacrifice. This is what marks the mature and intelligent mind. If a person is unable to look beyond his own desires, if he cannot rise above the fleeting temptations of life, then even if his hair turns gray and his skin wrinkles, he cannot be considered truly grown up. Saadi listened, his young heart touched by the weight of this insight. He had expected an answer tied to age, perhaps to strength or independence, but instead he had been given a glimpse into the soul, a glimpse into the struggle between the ephemeral world and the everlasting truth. It wasn't age that defined adulthood, it was awareness, it was striving for something greater than oneself. The scholar went on, his words resonating like a gentle melody. Manhood is true humanity. It has neither value nor price, and it cannot be measured in gold or in deeds. To be truly human, he said, is to embody kindness and to care for the poor, to elevate one's spirit above the mundane. Worldly goods are easy to acquire, but true maturity, true kindness is rare. Saadi pondered these words for years, carrying them with him like a seed planted in his heart. As he grew older, he began to understand them more deeply. He saw how people chased after wealth and power, how they allowed their desires to rule them, how their hearts grew heavy with the burden of never having enough. He saw men who had built grand homes but were prisoners of their own greed, their spirits as empty as the hollow shells of walnuts. And then there were those who lived with light in their eyes, people who had little yet gave much. People who strove not for the glittering prizes of this world, but for something deeper. He saw how these individuals, with their quiet acts of generosity and their humble ways, seemed to be the ones truly alive. They were the ones who, in seeking the divine, had found themselves. Years later, as an old man, Saadi often recounted this memory to those who sought his counsel. He would look at the eager faces around him and say, "The shell of a walnut is made of wood, but only the ignorant mistake it for the true worth inside." So it is with man. Those who look only at the surface see nothing of real value. And so, the question remains for each of us. What does it mean to grow up? Is it enough to age, to acquire wealth, to fulfill the expectations of society? Or is there a deeper journey we must embark on, one that asks us to grow in kindness, in understanding, and in a longing for something beyond ourselves? The scholar's answer to Saadi's innocent question was simple yet profound. True maturity is not about what you acquire, but about what you are willing to give up, what you're willing to strive for in your heart. And perhaps, in understanding this, we too can become wiser, a little more grown up, and a little more human.